Byond exists to define purpose through holistic mentoring. At Byond, we will assist you to achieve success, enjoy inner peace, and live your best life. Basically, we're here to inspire you to heal and transform. Byond umbrella consists of Byond Talk, Byond Virtual Learning Space, Byond Coaching and Mentoring Services, and Byond Online Shop. For more information, visit us at www.sandraturgot.com or contact us at byondonline@gmail.com. Good evening.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Aaron.
Good evening, Sandra. How are you?
I am good, thank you. How are you?
I'm very well. I like your t-shirt.
Heal you.
Yes, you didn't send me I didn't get the email.
Heal me. You didn't get an email to wear your healing t-shirt? I know. Sorry.
Oh, wow.
I rushed home. I was trying to get ready fast. So yes. It was the quickest thing I could find, but it worked well because tonight we're continuing our conversation about answering the call and we're talking about healing.
Definitely.
The call to be healers and to help the collective purpose of healing our world, right?
Perfect. Well, it's good to see you. Looking forward to this segment of Byond Talk. And I'd just like to welcome all our viewers, those that are tuning in for the first time. This is Byond Talk. And basically why we're here is we just want to inspire people to go after their healing and transform their lives. Because we know that in life, teachers and learners are interchangeable. And we want to have a conversation, a real life conversation, and where we can engage you, our community, and talk about some things that are uncomfortable but necessary to bring forth healing, and we'll talk about things like success. We'll talk about maybe traumas that you've experienced. We'll talk about, having your breakthrough. And it's very important that, we have these conversations because, one of the greatest tragedies in life is for us to lose our authentic self, and to live the life, or the version of ourselves that is accepted by everyone else, and it's time that, we become aware, of the greatness that's in us and the things that are holding us back so we can heal and transform our life. So again, welcome, Sandra.
Yes. I was so distracted trying to invite people to watch us because we want our viewers to join the conversation with us. That's why we're talking. Yeah. So hi everyone. Thank you guys for joining us. It's a new year. Yay! It's 2021, and I'm feeling a buzz.
Nice.
I feel like 2021 is going to be amazing. I know we had a 2020 that a lot of us didn't like too much, but I think it happened for a reason. I think everything happened for a reason. So we're not going to stress about it. It's behind us now. What we're going to do, we're going to push forward. And Aaron and I are talking about answering the call tonight. We're talking about healing and why it's necessary.
Absolutely.
It's so necessary, you all. And in this year, we're going to be talking to you about doing your work so that you can live your best life. Because guess what? 20 people died in 2020, and it could have been me or you, but we are here. So why not make the best of it? Because we're here. Aaron, what was your quote that you shared with me?
Okay, so my quote is something that goes way back, and I'm sure everyone's heard it. It's important and it resonates with me very well. It goes, emancipate yourself from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our mind.
Emancipate yourself from mental slavery. I can't say
yes. And it's a lot. That's a heavy statement. Hello, Shauna. That's a heavy statement, and it's one that, a person can meditate on, what is meant by mental slavery, and there, we can go so many.
Good evening, Morgany. Thank you for watching.
Yes, and so becoming aware, of your mind and the things that are captivating your mind, especially the negative thoughts, the burdens that you're carrying around, right? You become a slave to that, and you limit yourself, in so many ways, and it's very important to break free of that, get out of those prisons that we put ourselves in a mental capacity.
Yes.
Yeah.
I wrote something down, Aaron. That's beautiful. Emancipate yourself from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free your mind. And I wrote this down as I was preparing for tonight. So we're talking about healing, and we're saying we're called to be healers. That's what we're called to do. So when I say that, folks might think that I'm not a healer, but the very fact that you're alive and breathing, you're called to be healer. And what I mean by that is that, we're called to sow good seed in the earth. And that's how you heal yourself in the earth. We're called to be reapers and gatherers of good fruits. That means we're supposed to be having good fruits. Good fruits should exude from our being. I mean, it's all about goodness. Right. And think about if you're doing good and being good, how that's going to translate into healing your world, healing yourself, healing your home, healing your community, and healing your world.
Right.
We're called to share and to extend kindness and compassion to all. This is what it means to be healer. It's not no deep, fuzzy, funny stuff. We're not saying you need to spit on anybody and lay hands on anybody. Right. That's not what we're saying. We're saying that we all have a mandate to be healers in our world. There's so much going on around us. There's so much mess.
Yes.
And we are called. But how do you actually do that, Aaron? How do you do that? We talked about this, and I said, you have to first tell yourself the truth.
Right.
You have to show up in your authentic self. That means you gotta show up honest. That means if there's some mess going on, you gotta deal with it, right?
Yes. It's all about awareness. It's a certain level of awareness, because we could be going along our merry way, living life. Everything is great. You might not think that you need to change anything, even though you may not be happy and stuff like that. But I find that to come to that point of awareness, there's usually an event, a trigger, that an awakening, basically, that lets the individuals know that maybe things are not the way that I see them. Maybe, I'm not the person that I think I am. And they start asking questions and going in, having an introspective look at themselves, and then healing the mind, and healing their concept, their perception of reality, their reality, and I think once you kind of come to terms with who you are, and have an acceptance for yourself, then it's just natural that you want to share that with other people, or be like a witness, of somebody that transformed themselves, and I, from a personal standpoint, I know I woke up to this through a hardship, a very hard situation in life. And I wish most of us didn't have to go through something hard in life to really wake up to what's really going on in their life, and the circumstances that they're creating in their life. Right. So not everybody approaches this healing from the same perspective or viewpoint. It's going to be different for everybody, right?
Yes, it's going to be, and healing as we know it, and sowing that energy into our world or into our environments, it's really it's a journey.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like it's like peeling an onion. So it's layers and layers and layers and layers. And I did mention, Aaron, that I have been going on this journey, I believe, for about maybe 20 years now.
Mm-hmm.
Really seeking to get better, to be better, to show up better.
Yeah.
And I did some major work. I call it major surgery about 2 years ago. And I was able to dig in deep into those hurt places. And Aaron, when we're hurting, we show up hurt in that we show up in anger, we show up with resentment, we show up, all these things are spewing out of us, and sometimes we can't see it. Absolutely. And everybody else sees it. Everybody said, she's a hot mess, or he's a hot mess, and everybody else can see but you. And that's what hurt and pain does to us.
Yeah.
Now, for you to get out of that rut, out of that space, out of that bad negative space, you have to tell yourself the truth. You have to see that you have a problem, and you have to listen when somebody say, "Girl, you got a problem."
Yes,
you gotta listen to that.
Yes,
you gotta look at it. I call it the mirror effect. You got to actually look in the mirror at yourself and say, "Girl, you got some stuff that you need to let go of." And I had to do that not too long ago. And I know I look young, but I'm not that young. And I had to do that because I one season I find myself crying. Just I would go to my hairdresser. I think she's watching, and I would be bawling. She's doing my hair, and it feels good. And she asked me a question, and I burst out crying. So I was unhealthy. There was some stuff inside of me that I needed to let go. And I talked about this before, that I did Celebrate Recovery. And people, when you talk about Celebrate Recovery, people think you're talking about AAA, like you have an addiction. But stuff, negative baggage is addiction.
Oh, absolutely.
It's addiction to the 100 degree.
Yes.
And I had that. I had a negative baggage addiction.
Right.
And I thought I was good, and many people maybe think I'm good, or maybe they think I'm not. I was a mess, but I did some good work, and I clear out some baggages. And Aaron, the point that I'm trying to come to is that, do you know that when you start cleaning house, things, situation and spaces and things become really uncomfortable for you, because now you have a clean house, and everywhere you go, if it's sticky, you don't want to be there. Right. And it brings me to the point of walking away from my job. Because I feel like I was in a good place, and I was healthy. I feel healthy. I shouldn't say I was. I am healthy. Right. And healthy on the journey, and work was toxic. Yes. And it was hard because that's where the money comes from. Right. And it was causing me, now that I'm awakened to my feelings, and I don't want to have those negative things in my being, I was awakened to the fact that I had to walk away from this job. And Aaron, it was hard. It was perplexing. It was hard. Oh, am I going to walk away from this job? But I felt like God, and you like to say the God in me, was me to give up everything that was unhealthy in my life. Wow. Last year I walk away. It's almost a year. It's last January that I walk away from my job after 13 plus years. I walk away. And if somebody's watching us tonight and thinking about feeling that pain, or feeling that feeling push, it doesn't have to. It could just be a push, telling you that I want to bring you out of something into a clearer. Listen, because even though I'm afraid, truth, I did it afraid, but it doesn't matter if you do it. Right. I did it, and today it's a year later. I'm okay, right? Excellent. You had that fear, but that fear was pushing you forward. It forced you to take action, on different endeavors, right?
pursuits that can to help you to replace that income, and you were happier, right? You were at peace. You're at peace.
So much joy and peace.
Yes, definitely. If you're in a situation, like, well, this, the old saying, right? Insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results, so you're in this job, you hate the job, you hate getting up to go to the job, but you just can't bring yourself to do something, to get up and do something about it. And that's going to impact you emotionally, physically, psychologically. It's going to affect you in so many ways. And it takes a lot of courage, to get up and change course in your direction. And I think one of the first things to do if you're in that situation is to take time and do some inner work.
Yes.
Some inner work and mental. We call it mental decluttering. Identifying all the negative things, the things that are so hidden into your subconscious, that's just gone on automatic pilot, and it's just causing you to sabotage your life. You have to identify those things and all the hurts, everything that's holding you back, and break free from that and write a new program. A new program could be things like, a self-talk, being more aware and conscious of the things that you're saying to yourself, the habitual things that you're saying to yourself, the habitual pictures that you allow to resonate in your mind. You talked about the fear. Sometimes if we're so negative that we become paralyzed by this constant fear, because we imagine the negative things happening to us. What if I leave my job and I can't pay my rent, or I pay my mortgage, I'm going to lose my house. I'm going to, if you keep seeing those things and focusing on those things, then that's what's going to happen if you leave the job, right? But if you get rid of all those negative things, you do that switch and be intentional and focus. Have defined goals and take action on it every day. 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, a year, you definitely will be on a different path and be living a totally different life. It's not an overnight thing, but if you start taking action, daily action, daily meditation, constant awareness of the things that you're saying, that you're doing, you definitely can take charge of your life and break free from those mental jailers.
Mental jailers. That is good. Mental jailers. So Aaron, on that note, we become what we think about all day. We become that.
Yes.
So if you think that you cannot and you won't,
yes,
like you just said, then you will not.
Yes.
So we know that, but most of us think about the negative things nonetheless.
Yeah.
Can you expound on that?
I don't know. I think maybe we hear it, but it hasn't reached us at an experiential level. Because experiences is what moves us. When we feel things, we move, right? And it's all energy, right? I think we are we're thinking centers, and thought is energy. It's creative energy, and once we become aware of that, then we be more intentional with what we think, when we think certain things, right, and how we think, because that's how we can change our lives, right? And that's that has been one of the biggest lessons for me in life, is knowing that my thoughts create my reality. In my 20s, very negative, anger issues, and one of the thoughts that I could remember having, probably my late teens, was everything I touched, everything I mess up, everything I put my hands on. I think I got those words from a song, and I think for some strange reason I kind of adopted it, and just seeing yourself as a failure, and if you see yourself in that light, then that's what you're going to manifest. That's how you're going to show up in life. But becoming aware of that, is the first step. Becoming aware of how you think, and that your thoughts create your reality. Your thoughts create your experience. Thought is energy. It's real. It's not something that's part of our everyday conversations, but it's things that we need to learn in order to change our life, right? The role that we're playing in it through our thinking.
Our participants are saying they like mental jailers.
Mental jailers.
Put your name to that. They're taking that line. Mental jailers, and they're mental jailers. That's powerful.
Yeah.
It's a new one for me. Mental jailers. China said
it's not Aaron George's terminology.
It's not Aaron George's.
It's a term that I came across to break myself free, to emancipate myself from mental slavery. The mental slavery is those thoughts that you're having, those negative, no good, all those negative things. So maybe you've inherited those thoughts from others, but subconsciously they're affecting you. And it's until when we become aware of them, that's when we can change it. If you're not aware of it, then you can't change it.
Yeah, you're right. So Aaron, healing takes time.
Absolutely.
Healing takes time and energy. We know that, right?
Intentional, yes.
It does. It takes time, as you say, focusing on you, focusing on the things that are wrong with you, because none of us are perfect, and there's always room for growth, as I say before.
Wow.
So a person may say, I hear this a lot from people. Yeah. I know it takes a lot, and I don't want to go back there. I don't want to revisit the pain. So I'm just going to move forward. Is there such a thing as moving forward without going back there?
Wow. I think there's different levels, right? There's different levels that you can go. Like even I am where I am now, but I'm sure I could have gone deeper in dealing with some of my issues, but you can work with your issues and get yourself to a certain point where you have peace. You have peace mentally. You're not being led astray with your thoughts. Those constant negative thoughts are plaguing your mind. Things like, you're faced with an event and right away you start seeing the negative as opposed to seeing the positive, right? So those are some of the things that I think that what we would call low-lying fruits. Those are some of the things you can change easily, right? Just recognizing the thoughts, recognizing how you respond to certain situations, and if it's negative, and you ask yourself, well, what causes me to respond negatively to certain situations, and because sometimes my response does not really fit the outcome.
Yes.
Right.
Yes,
so we're putting undue stress on ourselves, right? When we're faced with certain situation, and that's that's just self-induced, right? So becoming aware of that particular role you're playing in your experiences, I think is a good step towards healing that aspect of your being. Can we heal completely? It's a lifetime thing, right? It's a lifetime thing, but it's like joining that gym and working out. You got to have a pattern. You have a plan. You got to have a routine. You will fall down, but just pick yourself up and get back on course by doing the things that the rituals, the new rituals that you would have developed. And I say rituals for lack of another word, right? But practice, right?
Habits or new habits that you would have developed. But Aaron, I really believe that you first have to start. So healing, you're saying, I don't want to go back there. I don't want to deal with the past. It was so traumatic. I don't want to remember it. People use those terminologies. It's behind me. So I'm just moving forward. But Aaron, I don't believe you can move forward without going back.
Well,
I was one of those people who say, I'm just going to move forward. But I realized that every step I take, the baggage was coming with me.
Well,
it wasn't leaving me. It was inside there, and it would trigger me, and it would do things to me that I don't want to do to me.
Right. So,
and I'm like, whoops. But it was the stuff that I was carrying. So for our viewers, if you're carrying it, it's really controlling you. So to get rid of it, you got to address it. You really have to face it. And that means taking a look back at it and saying, yeah, I remember when I was 7 years old, this happened to me. I remember when I was 25, this happened to me. I remember you did hurt me. You did lie on me. Whatever it is, my boss did treat me like I was nobody. My mother did treat me. My father did treat me. Whatever the situation is, you recognize that thing is actually doing a number on you,
right?
And you address it. I promise you, when you do address it, and you don't have to address it with the person. It's good if the person was willing, or the person alive and willing to look at you and hear you out. But sometimes that doesn't happen. So you have to address it for yourself. You have to find that, if I may say, closure to that thing.
Yes.
So that you can remove it from your being. Because it lives in you, takes root, and it grows a tree. And when it becomes a monster tree, it's hard to cut down, that anger, that thing, that unforgiveness, that resentment, that everything that's showing up that's make you look so ugly. It's really, you're beautiful, you're amazing, but it's the stuff. It's the stuff that makes you look ugly.
It's the stuff and the impact the stuff has on you, because remember, the mind doesn't know time, right? It just, if you keep rehashing that event over and over again, right, it's always going to have that hole on you until you become aware of the event and become aware what's driving those feelings about that event that happened, 30 years ago. It's the reliving of it. I think that causes the continual pain and continually to relive it over and over again, right? But I think once you become aware of it, of the hold that it has on you, you can put it in perspective.
Yes.
Would you agree?
And I definitely. I just because this year you and I planned that we're going to be so authentic, it's nobody's business on the show. So we're just going to be real. So I talk about, this is not a secret because I talk about this, and maybe to my church family, I talk about when I was a kid, I was living in the country with this stranger, this monster of a lady. And I remember that she used to, if I was bad, I was a baby, but if I was bad, she would put me under the house. There was houses and stick under the cellar, we call it. And I would have to sleep under the house. And I didn't know that thing was so traumatic for me. So it follow me all my life. I'm so scared of the dark. And I don't trust anybody. I'm afraid. So if I'm in a relationship and it's not going, a little bit, I would run because I don't want to be put under the house.
Right.
I think that's what that event did to me. Right. So I would leave before you get the opportunity to put me under the house. Right. So now, but I didn't revisit that event. I'm a grown woman. I'm living my life. Right. But I didn't realize that if I travel or I go to a new place, I would get cold sweat in the night. I would be scared of the dark, and I didn't put it together. I didn't put it together, and I never really talk about this lady. I never really call her a name. I never really. I know this happened. I know it was bad, but I was trying to move on. So the reason why I wasn't actually moving on. And when I decided to, I didn't understand what was causing me these triggers. So when I decided to do some work on myself, and as I told you, I did the program and I had a sponsor, and we had to do this thing called inventory, whatever. And we had to put down all the people who hurt us and all the people, are we going to forgive them, blah, blah, blah. And I put down everybody. I put everybody. And I didn't put that lady. I don't know why I didn't put her. I have no idea why I didn't put her, but I didn't put her. And when I was talking to my sponsor, who I now call my angel, she asked me about this woman. And she said, why didn't you put her? And I said, oh, I don't know. I don't know. And she said, put it. Yes. Put her name on the paper. Yes. And I couldn't. I couldn't put her name on the paper. So she had that much control over me. Even this woman is dead and gone, and I left the country years ago, or 40 years ago, and this woman in the grave had this hold on my life. I didn't know this, and this just happened 2 years ago, and my hands start trembling. I couldn't write her name.
Oh boy!
I was trembling, and I went back into this little girl.
Yeah.
I saw myself going there. I couldn't control it. We were in a coffee shop. I went back into this little girl that was so scared. I became the little girl, and I started weeping profusely. And I was scared that I was scared. And I was in a coffee shop. It was weird. But I started weeping profusely. And then after that whole session, it wasn't no therapy. It was just me coming face to face with my truth. And after that session, after that conversation with my sponsor, I realized that a big part of my issue was formulated when I was a little girl in the country with a woman who would put me in the dark to sleep with the rats and the bugs. And I realized that my fear was everything that was seemingly going crazy. I couldn't keep a relationship. I didn't let people get in all the way. I realized that it was because of that event. So that's why I say if you don't go back mentally in your mind, and sometimes physically, because I end up going back physically, you don't go back and revisit that thing so you can plug that thing from out of your psyche. It will haunt you. It will take your life. It will give you cancer. It will give you diabetes. It will give you issues that you're like, where did this come from?
Right.
But it's the trauma living inside of you. That's why I believe that going back is paramount.
Definitely. Yes. I agree. Doing that inventory, raising awareness, asking the questions, and going back to put it to rest, right? And move past it.
Take it out. Get rid of it once and for all. So you feel lighter.
Yes.
You feel your purpose is renewed. You're not fighting this thing. Whether it's fear for you, whatever it is. But a lot of people who have suffered trauma, trauma births fear, I believe. Wow. Trauma births fear. So anybody out there that have suffered and gone through whatever level of trauma, there's a certain level. And we talk to our clients about this, Aaron. There's a certain level of fear that is inside of you. You know you were born for greatness. You know that. You know that you're a wonderful priesthood. You know you're a child of God. Why do we have so many people, even in the pews, that are so unhealthy? That used to baffle me, but now I know I understand why. Because whether you're in the pew or you're out here, we all have stuff that we need to clean out, and we can't dance it away.
Right, human condition.
No dance can take it away.
Human condition, and it's important that we wake up to that. We become aware of the things that we're carrying with us, and it wasn't our fault. It wasn't our fault. It happened. We have to give up. I think we have this state of mind of judgment, and we pass judgment on ourselves and shame, because we went through certain things, and that keeps us from being totally free and at peace and happy with ourselves. I think it's after it's happened for so long and we've coped with it, we've hidden it for so long. It's not easy to come up and say, hey, you know what? This is what I went through, right? Some people can't even articulate it, and men and women are different in how they bring forth those experiences. I know, just in talking with you and just knowing you, you are about depth, and and just working with you as a coach, I can see the degree of depth that you want to go into, because you've experienced it, and right, what comes out of that when somebody goes to that depth, what comes out if they're committed to the process, right? They're committed to the process, they're honest, they remove the fear, and and feel the feelings, and they know that they're on the road to getting better.
Yes,
And
yeah.
they believe in, and they believe in that there's something good that's going to come out of it. They're committed to the process. Once they go back there, right, and then they can definitely bring closure, and then get new direction for their lives and create new energy, right? Create new energy and new direction for their life, and that's very, very powerful.
Yes.
You have done some powerful work, Sandra.
I've done, and
Okay.
as you said, Aaron, thank you, Aaron. And as you said, you have to commit to the work.
Yeah.
It's kind of like you're like, enough already.
Mm-hmm.
What do I have to lose?
Right.
Like at least at some point in this lifetime, I
Yeah.
want to have joy and peace.
Yes. And it's achievable. It's attainable.
It's attainable. It's not just words.
No.
Oh, I want joy. Oh, I want peace. How do I say it? It's a thing that comes from deep in your soul, and when
Right.
it's there, you're
Yeah.
unmovable. Nobody can move you, eh?
Yes.
No matter what hell broke loose,
Right.
you're movable because
Yeah.
you understand what it means to have joy.
Right.
And,
Yes.
and I'm not talking about getting a new car. That's, you can be happy, but
Mhm.
I believe joy is know what you're going to eat tonight.
Hmm.
Some reason you just have this content. I believe that's joy. Like you don't know how it's going to work out. You don't know if you're going to live.
Yes.
Reason you have this confidence. I believe that's wealth. And you and I talk about this. I believe that's wealth. I believe that's riches. Money. I like it. I really like money. I'm changing I love money. I like money. I love money. I like money. But there's something about having joy and contentment and peace that's sweet. That's really sweet, right?
Definitely.
Happy New Year
to you, Augustine. Hey, Augustine. Happy New Year to you.
So I know you said this before, Aaron, but let's go there again. So people need to know, like a person may say, this is who I am because of XYZ, but understand that we're not our circumstances. Right. We're not what happened to us. Right. You want to expand on that. We're two different things.
Yes.
And who we are.
Yes, definitely. I think and again, it's just because maybe our limited experience or limited awareness growing up, something happens to us and we get attached to that. And again, just because we haven't learned, that, the role of the experiences that we have or the impact that they're having on us, and how we have a choice, right? We have a choice in how to respond to it, at a certain level. Right. But I think once we become aware, about our role in our experiences and our abilities to learn and to grow, I think that builds confidence, and that enables us to head in a direction of more positive outcome, positive experiences in our life.
Because we can differentiate that.
Mm-hmm.
Even if we're having these negative behaviors, that's not who we are.
Right.
Yeah. Behaviors that we're having because it's connected to something that's unhealthy in us.
Yes, and it's something that we could unlearn. Right. We could unlearn ineffective behaviors and learn more constructive, positive behaviors that will lead us to the experiences that we desire for ourselves.
Yes.
Yeah.
And if you don't know that those behaviors, people tend to say, that's who I am. That's just me. I feel sad when people say that, like when you behave a certain way and you say, well, it's just me.
Yeah.
That means you have not connected with yourself. So you don't know that this is a behavior. This is an unhealthy behavior that needs to be changed. And Aaron, even people who are in executive position and let's go there. Even people who are in the pulpit, just have people who you're thinking that they should know this, but this is not by age, by the way.
Right.
Not by position. It's not by education.
Yeah.
It's how much degree you have.
Right.
And a professor told me once, there's a lot of uneducated, he said there's a lot of educated dunce.
Right.
So educated, they're so dunce. And so it doesn't matter where you are in the ladder. If you didn't do the work, you're just a mess. You're just a mess on top of the ladder there. Really.
Yeah. Yes. So here, so we're all at different levels in our own personal evolution, right? And there's a saying, the higher being does not act like the lower being. If we are along a particular path in our development, and if we see someone who is not where we think they are, or if we see somebody that we think they're not on the same path with us, it's not our place to look down on them or to judge them. We just to be an example, of somebody that's at peace with themselves, somebody that's conscious of what they say to themselves and about themselves, right? And maybe we as we go about our life, those that we feel that are not on the same path with us, right? We will plant some seeds with them. They will see some things. Maybe at that moment they're not ready to embrace it, but maybe in their quiet moment, that action, that thought, that whatever it is going to resonate with them on a subconscious level, right? And then it's going to continue to grow, and then they'll maybe one day bring themselves to that place where they start questioning themselves, questioning their asking those questions, what's keeping me from doing this, or what's keeping me from being there, and what can I do to, right, that desire, to awaken that desire within themselves to transform, to change, to heal, to recognize that there's stuff that they need to be to address and to be healed from, so I think that judgment should be suspended at all levels. Suspend judgment, and that's a problem for us.
We're not. We're just saying.
No, just a comment. I think judgment gets in our way.
We're not. Sometimes
for our own development, individually, because we always judge ourselves that I'm okay, I'm good, Or
judging or aligning. I think what I would like to plug in there is aligning ourselves with people who we think, because that's illusion. Because a person is a minister or preacher, or a person is an executive or a CEO, we think that.
That's right. That's the judgment. That's the judgment.
So that's the judgment we pass. So because we think they're good, and when we see them do things that are like, wow, so then we feel like we can't deal with our own mess, because if this person don't have it together, then how can I get it together? So it's more we compare ourselves. So my pastor doesn't, how can I get it together?
Yeah, it's very unfair.
Or my boss, or my mother, or my father. How can I get it together if they don't have it together? But really, this journey is very, very, very personal.
That's right.
And it doesn't have anything to do with status or class or whatever. It's really you deciding wherever you are now that you want to be well. You want to be healthy. So you're going to take this on. You're going to, your mission is to get healthy in your body, to get healthy in your mind, and to get healthy in your spirit. And really, I was writing something about this. Only you can do that.
Yes, absolutely.
Nobody can do that for you. Your pastor maybe guide you, give you a few nuggets. Your mother maybe give you some, some advice. Your friend maybe tell you a thing or two. And truly, the challenge is with you. And that's what I was trying to say. Nobody else.
Yes, absolutely. And the sooner we come to that knowledge, the sooner we will we will be more at peace with ourselves, and there's nothing sweeter
Nothing
Nothing.
sweeter than to be at peace, than to be healed, or at least let me not say be healed.
Healing leads to peace. No.
It's really a journey.
Yes.
To take the journey and to be on the path of healing. It's not just the psychological part of it, but it's also the physical part of it. I was working with a lady, and I told you the story that the first time she met me, she wear her sunshades, right? She show her eyes, and I didn't ask her to take it off. It wasn't my place. But as we started working together, and I started digging and started getting into her spots that she was getting annoyed at point, but she went through the process. Then one day she took off her glasses. She's so beautiful, and I'm like, oh my God, you're so pretty. It was the first time seeing her eyes, and she just looked up. And then after that, after we're doing this work and going back and doing this work together, she started losing weight.
Wow.
And so
Transform.
you know how it all aligns.
Yes.
When you start to take care of the muck, psychological muck, if you may, or spiritual muck, physically you feel pretty.
Yes.
And you just wanna and she just went on a journey of, and I think she lost a good sum of weight, about 40 pounds. She did lose weight.
Nice.
And beautiful girl.
Nice.
Beautiful girl. Probably she's watching and she knows what I'm talking about. She's okay with that. She's so pretty.
Yes.
But she hit herself because she defined herself by whatever happened to her. She showed up that way for many, many years.
Wow. Great work, Sandra.
Yeah. So I know we're talking about the work.
Right.
So we're talking about the work because we have gone through some stuff. We're not perfect, and we decided that we want to help others to, if they can feel better and get better, we want to be a part of that. So that's why we started the work, and that's why we decided to do coaching, to do holistic growth coaching, where we can help a person to move from here to here. We're not doing the work for them; they're doing the work for themselves. We're really just guiding the process. We're cheerleaders saying you can do it, but don't we all need cheerleaders in our lives?
Absolutely.
We all need those people to push us a little bit.
Definitely. And sometimes you wish they were there earlier, you know, you could save yourself so much, right? But the thing is that you get in touch with somebody, you connect with somebody that can, you know, I'm going to say pull you up, you know, and by that, I mean, somebody that can show you the way, somebody that can lead you to the books, lead you to the workshops, lead you to the videos, the audios that can help you to get the information that you need to, you know, break yourself free, you know, emancipate yourself from mental slavery. None mind. And if I had known that at 18, I would have saved myself so much trouble, you know, and this also, Sandra, parenting, you know, conscious parents, you know, parents that are intentional, you know, can do a great service for their children and you know, by introducing them to these things early in life, you know, about the mind and the thoughts and, you know, because kids are faced with so much, I'm going to say maybe bullying and teasing and, you know, by their peers and they take that to heart, you know, and those names that they're called or those teasing that they get, you know, they will create certain behaviors, you know, and they will see themselves in a certain light, you know, and they might go through life in that particular light until they're forced to, you know, to change, right? To become aware of, you know, the impact, you know, those things have had on them and realize that they can change it. It's not a life sentence. You can change it, right? Because you played a role in creating it. By number one, believing, you know, other people's thoughts, negative, mostly, and it's mostly negative, right? Because, you know, 75% negative, right?
I can't see a thing without my glasses, by the way. I took it off because it's so foggy.
Okay.
I'm really, oh my goodness, I can't see anything. But it's so easy to to stick with the negative, right?
Yeah.
It's so easy to go there. And I
Yeah.
think because it's easy, we tend to do it.
Yeah.
And you're right. But if a child is trained and you don't know better, you can't do better. Because I'm a mom, and a lot of things I didn't know when I was so busy trying to provide for the children. Like, I didn't know that if you tell them nice words and say, I love you, and you know, you're pretty, you're blah, blah, blah. But those having an affirmation that you give to them, that's something that they say and they know and they believe it.
Yeah.
And so when they leave the house, nobody can sway them because they believe that they're that. And I think many of us as parents failed in that area. I can't speak for everybody. Maybe there are amazing parents that don't make any mistakes out there. But many of us fail in that area, that as our kids go to school and the teacher say you can't, our children believe that. As soon as the teacher say, well, you can't do that. No, you can't be that. Our children believe that. Why? Because I don't think it was given to them enough at home.
Right. Yes.
To prepare them for this big world that is trying to tell them that they can't be who they say they want to be.
Right.
And that's a tragedy.
We have to download that positive self image, that positive outlook of who they are. It's up to us in the home as a parents to establish that pattern of thinking and believing regarding themselves. So when they go out there and they, others say things that are contrary, it's just, they don't take heed to that, because they know who they are, and they know what's important to them and what to believe.
And a lot of times, Aaron, we act a certain way, and we act less than around our kids sometimes. We show up half-mast around our kids sometimes, and they're smart. They can see that we, like I know we're talking about healing, but I know for me, I would say I have no money so much that I think that was one thing that, and I'm like, whoa, I was actually saying that a lot, eh? It was a thing that I do. Oh my God, I need this. Well, I don't have money you can't. But it was always about not having money. So I had created that for my life early on, without consciously knowing that I was creating that for my life and the life of my children, to be in lack, and whatever else you're doing around your children. Sometimes it's just your body language and the tenseness that you're showing them, and they don't see that this thing is not comfy for you, and it kind of get on them, and then you see that they're kind of doing what you did. Like, oh, wow.
You were their model, right? You were their example. You taught them that they learn it from you. You're their first teacher, right?
They do.
Yeah.
And if we can, for the young moms out there, probably the older moms or kids are grown, it's not too late.
No.
We can plug positive affirmations in them, let them know that they're worthy of XYZ. And for the young moms, it should be a ritual, like brushing your teeth kind of a thing. And you say, go brush your teeth. You should be telling them that they're worthy, that they're good, they're great. They can achieve anything. They can experience joy and peace and wholeness for their entire life. They don't have to go through what we went through. They can actually have that richness for their entire life. And so the young moms that we're saying to you tonight, kind of went off. You can do this. You can change you can change this.
Definitely. Dads too.
You can do that. Yeah.
Mom and dads.
Mom and dads, yes. Did I forget dads?
Dads can have a traumatic impact.
That was not
on their girls and boys.
Aaron. That was not intentional.
Oh, I know. That's why I remind you that we're here too.
Mom and dad.
We play a great role.
Of course you do. Of course, you guys.
It's important. It's important, for kids to hear it from both parents, mom and dad, all those positive things, it goes a long way. Right. Yeah.
Monique said, absolutely. The daily affirmations are key for the little ones.
Definitely.
Yeah. And Monique, you have some little ones. Keep it up. Keep it up. We need to create this level of richness in our community.
Yeah.
And I know we may say it's all words, but I've been, Aaron, you and I talk about this. I've been doing some affirmations and manifesting myself lately, and the thing is, it's working.
Oh yes.
I wish somebody had told me this when I was 5 years old.
Oh wow, Sandra, you're doing some amazing things.
Yeah, and
I don't want to let the what's that?
So words are powerful.
Oh, definitely.
Words have life.
Absolutely, word is life.
Word is life.
Yes.
So if it's negative, then you're building your coffin, and if it's positive, then you're living.
Definitely.
So make sure it's positive.
Yes. I think something that we don't really give thought to is the fact that energy. We're energy. There's big part of us that's energy.
Our time is up.
The time's up. But
it's such a good conversation, y'all. We don't want to go. It's such a good conversation. We're having fun having this conversation, Aaron. But our host shut the door on this, guys. We're gonna be back and week after next, continuing this conversation, and we will have a guest week after next, and you will see her when she comes on, this beautiful lady that is coming on to have conversation with us. So stay tuned, and I'm just gonna get Aaron, and good night, everybody. Thank you for watching us. We are sorry that we can't stay here for 5 hours. We would love to, but we can't stay here for that.
But you could continue the conversation, in the after, and you could comment, leave messages, and we'll get back to you. And, we encourage you, if you have that desire to change your life, know that you can, and it's within you. And there's so many ways that that you can get started on that. It could be reading a book, reaching out, getting a coach, getting a mentor, finding somebody to talk to, calling Sandra and I at Byond. And, we have gone through these things, and that's why we're here, because we have been able to transform our lives, and we're more than happy to share that with those that are ready and are willing to commit to making a change in their life. So I think that's it for today. We love you all. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you again in 2 weeks.
See you in 2 weeks.
Bye for now.
Bye-bye.
Byond exists to define purpose through holistic mentoring. At Byond, we will assist you to achieve success, enjoy inner peace, and live your best life. Basically, we're here to inspire you to heal and transform. Byond umbrella consists of Byond Talk, Byond Virtual Learning Space, Byond Coaching and Mentoring Services, and Byond Online Shop. For more information, visit us at www.sandraturgot.com or contact us at byondonline@gmail.com.
Dak TV.